Welcome to another edition of A Game a Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Today's game will be Game 5 of the Los Angeles Lakers versus Phoenix Suns. This swing game will definitely prove dividends to whichever team wins. There's a lot of changes involved in regards to the Lakers with no Anthony Davis for Game 5. He's dealing with a lingering groin injury that he suffered in the latter part of the second half of Game 4, injury that really swung momentum towards Phoenix, and they were able to finish out the game 98-88. Now, when you think about the Lakers and how they've been able to maneuver in this season, they've dealt with a lot of injuries, mainly to their two superstars in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The growing consensus is that was that this particular series would be one that they can develop some chemistry and momentum going toward the second round and making a finals run as defending champions. But this Phoenix Suns team, young, scrappy, they're the second seeded team in the West. They've exceeded all expectations. Chris Paul is an MVP candidate just off of impact alone with this particular squad. And although he's dealing with some shoulder issues that he suffered a shoulder injury in Game 1. He came into his own in game 4 and really got back to that point guard status that we know him for. He led the Suns with 18 points, hit some huge mid-range jumpers down the stretch to really keep the lead for the Suns. And I think it's a positive note in that Devin Booker was struggling from the field the last two games, yet the Suns were still able to get enough scoring to win. And with home court advantage back on their side with Game 5 in Phoenix, we'll see what they're able to do. Can they get this game and have an opportunity to close out the Lakers in Game 6, or will they wilt under the pressure of LeBron James, the ultimate winner, especially for this generation? So we'll see. We'll be back as the game is yet to start, but that's a quick preview. We'll be back. And this is A Game a Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. This is Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we get ready for tip-off between the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Lakers. Again, the series is tied at 2. This is a huge swing game, a momentum game for both sides. Phoenix having home court advantage will definitely have the fans and momentum on their side, but this is LeBron James, and his team is going to go as he goes. He's been through every single situation you can think of. He's been to 10 NBA Finals. There's not one there's not one circumstance that he hasn't been exposed to as a top tier player in this league. And although Anthony Davis is not playing tonight, he's here in spirit, trying to encourage his unit and be a part of it from the sidelines. Markieff Morris will be starting in his place. This Laker team is still one of the top tier defensive teams, despite all of the injuries and COVID issues that they face this season. The tip-off has begun, and the Lakers get first possession. Dennis Schroeder, who's been anemic in this series. When he's played really well, the Lakers have won. When he's played really bad, the Lakers have lost. He's really the barometer for what this team can be in terms of potential. Markieff Morris gets the first shot for the Lakers. He knocks it down. Morris was a waiver wire pickup last year prior to the bubble, and he came up big for the Lakers defensively, knocked down some key threes for the Lakers last year in the bubble. This year hasn't really had the same role, but he definitely has provided spot minutes, been a defensive role player, still very engaged and ready whenever he's called upon. KCP inside for LeBron James with the left hand finish. KCP missed game 4 with some knee soreness. He's back tonight, which is a good sign for the Lakers. He's always a sharpshooter threat. At times, he's very streaky with his three-point shot, but just the fact that he's in playing for the Lakers tonight is a big, big plus. LeBron James and the Lakers get a stop defensively. LeBron in the post against Jay Crowder tries to kick it out to KCP, stolen by Mikal Bridges, and he gets it to Devin Booker, who's fouled by Dennis Schroeder prior to attacking the basket. Now, Devin Booker is a player who scored 30 plus in his first two playoff games. The last two, he scored 17 and 19 respectively, but he hasn't shot well from the floor. That could be a plus in that while he was shooting bad from the floor, the Suns were still able to get at least one game and tie the series at 2. Now, here at home, he knocked down his first shot, a 3-point shot coming in from the left side, working his way to the middle. He knocks down that 3. So Lakers lead 5-3. LeBron James knocks in a huge 3. So LeBron, understanding the circumstances and what it is right now with no Anthony Davis, he has to take on a huge offensive responsibility right now. In this series, averaging just under 22 points per game, he already has 5 quick points here in his first quarter. James thinks about a 3, takes a 3, he misses it off the back rim. So that was more of a heat check. He misses it. But you can see in his eyes he understands the circumstances of what this game is. It's a huge game 5. I mentioned the 22 points he's averaging in this series. He actually got his first 25-point performance in this series in game 4. He started the game really aggressive in finishing. That third quarter he went kind of cold, but in the fourth he tried to pick it up as the Lakers tried to make a quick run at it to try to steal the game, but it was just to no avail. A missed shot by Schroeder, rebounded by Jay Crowder. Suns trail by 5. Devin Booker, has the only field goal for the Suns. He gets it to Chris Paul. Back to Booker on the right wing. Up fake off of Morris, able to get a hard pound dribble and then get the floater off the glass over the outstretched arms of Andre Drummond. Booker, in his first playoff experience, averaged just under 26 points this season. Really efficient playing next to Chris Paul. He picked his spots really well. Both complement each other. And now that he's getting his first playoff exposure, he's stepping up to the plate. Obviously, you're going to struggle in some games. He definitely had a dust up with Dennis Schroeder in game 3 in which he got ejected. But I think for him, as a young player in this game, still trying to establish himself as a superstar in this league, these playoff moments is something that he embraces. Booker in the corner, cut off by Morris, gets it back out to Jay Crowder. Back to Morris. Crowder had a huge game in game 4, including the game-clinching 3 to solidify the game for the Suns in game 4, in which he had 17 points. Suns unable to get the field goal. The Lakers come back, get it to LeBron. He misses the mid-range shot, but Andre Drummond is there on the offensive glass for the finish. Now, Andre Drummond has been anemic as well. At times, he's played really strong. He's been able to attack the glass and work in the pick and roll. But then there's times where he can go stretches where he can't play because the Suns are stretching the floor, and he can't really maneuver defending on the outside. He's a player that has to remain engaged, especially on the glass. If the shot doesn't fall for one of his teammates, he needs to crash the glass as soon as possible. Be a presence regardless of if you have offense run through you or not. 10-7 Lakers lead. Markieff Morris misses the hook shot over Devin Booker. Suns able to get a run. Bridges over to Jay Crowder. Back to Bridges. He tries to set up DeAndre Ayton, who's played exceptionally well in his first playoff experience, but he has it deflected out by Markieff Morris. And we look at this previous basket by Mikal Bridges attacking the offensive glass, getting a putback slam. He kind of grazed it. I wouldn't quite call it a dunk, but he definitely guided it in the rim. And Jay Crowder knocks in a 3 from the left wing, tying this game at 10. So the quick run that the Lakers had to start, the Suns have settled in, and they're very comfortable with how they're running their offense right now. Dennis Schroeder on the left wing, thought about a shot, goes to James. LeBron taking the screen from Drummond, trying to get inside, kicks it out to Schroeder. Straightaway 3, off the back rim, no good, rebounded by Chris Paul. Paul surveying the floor, looking to set up. Hasn't really looked to shoot just yet. Gets it to Devin Booker, and Booker attacks Markieff Morris, draws a foul. So we get our first stoppage in play, 6:50 to play here in the first. Game tied at 10. Both teams understand the magnitude of this swing game. The series is tied at 2. We'll be back with more. This is the Game of the Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As game tied at 10, Phoenix gets possession out of the timeout. DeAndre Ayton attacks Marc Gasol, who just entered the game for the Lakers, and he'll be going to the free throw line for 2. When we look at the shooting so far, both teams are very similar in shooting. The Lakers 4 for 10, the Suns 4 for 11. Lakers 2 for 4 from 3, Suns 2 of 6 from 3. Right now, in terms of assists, even at 3. The turnover differential right now, the Lakers have 1 compared to the Suns none. So it's really a fill out right now. Both teams still trying to settle in terms of efficiency. Alex Caruso into the game for the Suns, for the Lakers as well. Pardon. LeBron James, guarded by Mikal Bridges. Bridges has taken on the challenge of defending LeBron. In some respects, they have worked uh, the one-on-one matchup with Bridges to their advantage. The Suns have mixed up Bridges and Jay Crowder, specifically Bridges on the perimeter with Jay Crowder in the post, utilizing his strength. LeBron uh, doesn't really favor one more than the other. He still plays the same game, but I think that um, particularly with Crowder, he's more comfortable because he doesn't have to really utilize any explosiveness against Crowder. He can just use his strength in post game as opposed to with Bridges. You got to kind of move laterally a lot more. Uh, Suns up 13 to 10, looking to get another basket as Alex Caruso unable to hit the 3. Devin Booker takes a foul from Marc Gasol once again, able to bank it in as he's falling away. Big shot from Devin Booker. We look at the replay. He's maneuvering the pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton. The mismatch was there for Ayton against Candavis Caldwell-Pope. Nevertheless, Booker took the contact from Marc Gasol, able to get it off the glass and fall right in. So big shot there for Devin Booker. Now the lead is up to 16. It's up to 16 to 10. Suns lead over the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The Suns are on an 11-0 run. Can the Lakers stop the bleeding? Still very early, but they have to get some offense. Caruso looking for LeBron in the post. He's going up against Bridges. Has the size advantage, has the experience. Bridges doing what he has to do, though. Made LeBron pass it out to Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma had to rotate to KCP. KCP misses the jumper. So Suns sensing momentum. Their crowd is into it. Devin Booker again trying to maneuver the pick and roll. He works it over to Bridges, who finds Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne has had a renaissance here with this Suns team. He was out the league overseas, still trying to navigate as a professional. But now with Chris Paul, after playing in stints with Chicago and OKC, settling in with Chris Paul, taking in the knowledge and experience that Chris has had to offer, and he settled in as a professional. A sixth man who's able to knock in the 3, bring energy, and really, really run the offense well. He knocks in the 3. The Lakers have to call a timeout. 19 to 10, the Suns lead and they have the Lakers on the rope. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as the Suns up 9. They're on a 14-0 run right now. Devin Booker with 10 points of the 19. He's been able to get going here offensively here in the series, averaging 25.3 points per game, on par with his regular season scoring. But the Suns know that they're going to need a magnificent performance from him to solidify this game. LeBron James shooting the 3 from the right wing, unable to get it to fall, rebounded by Bridges. So the Suns able to keep the Lakers out on the outside and really get the rebound and run. The Lakers have yet to score over the last 3 minutes and 35 seconds. James has to attack, kicks it to Caruso. Caruso for three, big three for the Lakers as they need that in this series, shooting just 29% from three. This is a team that has struggled from three, been very anemic at times. When they're flowing, they can knock it down, but when they go cold, they really go cold. As Cameron Payne tried to get a reverse layup, he wasn't able to hit the rim. He let the ball drop. It goes out of bounds, so possession goes to the Lakers. Lakers able to get a bucket and a stop. Let's see if they can start their own run. Marc Gasol over to Kuzma. Kuzma from the right wing steps into it, misses it, rebounded by Cameron Payne. For the Suns, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and Cameron Payne on the floor. For the Lakers, Wesley Matthews, Caruso, Marc Gasol, Kyle Kuzma, and LeBron James. Cameron Payne with the floater as Caruso tried to step in and take the charge. Referees didn't call it. The floater bounces off the front rim and drops in. So Suns up 10, 23-13. James over to Marc Gasol. Over to Caruso. Caruso working the left baseline. Kicks it back out to Marc Gasol. And Gasol gets Ayton up in the air from the pump fake. He will be going to the free throw line for three as Ayton fell for the trap. DeAndre Ayton has played spectacular here in this series. When you think about what he's been able to do, he's very, very comfortable playing next to Chris Paul. Most of his damage has come in the paint. He's 35 of 39 in the paint. And when you look at what he's done next to Chris Paul, working the pick and roll, very low maintenance, a young player that understands what he does well. He's really going at it with Anthony Davis, who's been tasked with having to work the perimeter and battle inside. Now, because Anthony Davis is compromised, he's been relegated to shooting more perimeter-based shots. And when it's on, it's on. But when it's off, it's off. And I think the Lakers saw that in Game 4. Even prior to the groin injury, he's been dealing with a sprained knee as well. So that has compromised his performance. And I think Ayton has definitely took advantage of that. Just rim running, attacking, and again, finding easy ways to score without having to have offense run for him. Gasol goes 2 of 2 at the free throw line. It's an 8-point game. And we got a loose ball foul against the Suns as Kuzma and Gasol were trying to establish themselves, getting a rebound. So 3:06 to play. Frank Kaminsky comes into the game for the Suns. So we look at the shooting. Since the Lakers started 3 of 3, they've gone 2 of 12. The Suns started 2 of 8, and they've since then they've gone 7 of 10. Wes Matthews in the post kicks it out to LeBron James. James kicks it out to Kuzma with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Kuzma able to get a floater to fall off one leg. Free throw line extended. So it's a 2-possession game now, 23-17 here in the first quarter. Wesley Matthews fighting over the screen to guard Devin Booker. We get a mid-range jumper from Booker as Wes Matthews took a shot to the main region. Booker misses the jump shot. And we got a blocking foul against Cameron Payne as he tries to step in to stop LeBron James off of a downhill attack to the basket. Wes Matthews still grimacing just a bit, but staying in the game. If you're the Lakers, you don't need any more injuries than what you see. Oh, that would have been an opportunity as LeBron James cut to the baseline to try to step an alley-oop. Caruso missed him. He had to go to Wes Matthews for the 3. Wes misses it. Suns able to get out and run. Cameron Payne knocks in the 3 this time from the left wing. So 2 threes already here for Cameron Payne. It gives the Suns some more separation. They're up 9. Cameron Payne with 10 points already, 4 or 5 from the floor. James in the post guarded by Cameron Johnson. Johnson can't stop LeBron. Braun spins off in baseline, starts middle, spins back to the right, finishes strong. That's what the Lakers need to see from LeBron James. Devin Booker thought about a 3, from the top of the key. Instead, goes straight to the basket. He's falling to the ground, able to get the shot off before he hits the ground. And one opportunity is again Caruso trying to fight over a screen, tried to stop his momentum. Devin Booker, a masterful scorer, understood the body contact coming, took the contact, and he's able to score. So Booker already in 11 minutes, he has 12 points, 5 of 7 from the floor. Now, when we look at Booker's scoring, I mentioned his 25 points per game. The majority of Devin Booker's points have come from the middle of the floor, whether it be in the paint or out on the key. He's 8 of 21 mid-range extended, free throw line extended in the paint, but then at the rim, he's 9 of 16. Three-point shooting has been an issue for him. He's a very efficient shooter, but the three-point shot coming into this game, he's been 4 of 18 from the top of the key. Here in this game right now, he's very, very comfortable. He's working all different areas of the court. As I say that, he attacks Andre Drummond, isn't able to get the shot to fall, but he's very, very comfortable here tonight. LeBron James finds Andre Drummond at the rim, and one opportunity for Andre Drummond as he took the contact. Frank Kaminsky couldn't stop him from getting the shot off. He had to commit the foul. So the Lakers are down 6 with 46 seconds left here in the first quarter. We look at LeBron James able to get the dump off to Drummond in close quarters. Again, Drummond took the contact, and I like it because he was ready for the pass. He attacked the basket, expecting the ball. And even if he didn't get that pass from LeBron, just the fact that he attacked the basket, if LeBron would have put the shot up, he would have been ready to get the offensive rebound. Drummond completes the and one, so it's a 5-point game, 46 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Dennis Schroeder back into the game. LeBron James heads to the bench. I'm sure for a quick rest, the Lakers will definitely need him tonight to play big minutes. It doesn't stop Devin Booker, though, from attacking the basket, able to get a floater up over the outstretched arms of Andre Drummond. So a 7-point game, 31-24. 32 seconds to play. There's been a stoppage, I guess, in regards to the clock. Lakers still maintain possession. They adjust the clock. So I said 32 seconds. They put 3.2 seconds on the clock. 35.2. Lakers down 7. Kuzma attacking, trying to set up Drummond. He initially thought about passing it off to Drummond, but instead laid it up. The Suns thought that Kuzma traveled. Refs don't call it, so it's back to a 5-point game. And there's a 5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. 17 seconds left in the quarter, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Devin Booker working the right wing, pulls up from 3, knocks it down over the outstretched arms of Drummond. So they're attacking Drummond as much as they can defensively. Schroeder has to get a shot off for the Lakers. 5 on the shot clock. They go to Kuzma. Kuzma takes a 3 from the left wing. He misses it right off the rim. So it's an 8-point game, big quarter for Devin Booker. Suns lead 34-26. This is a Game of Day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as we get ready to start this second quarter. Suns lead the Lakers here in Game 5, 34-26, an 18-point explosion from Devin Booker. 7 of 10 from the floor. Again, able to do everything he wants, able to attack off the pick and roll, get to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 from 3. He's someone that obviously as a prolific scorer has all the tools in his basket, but right now it's not just him. He's getting contributions from Cameron Payne, who has 12 points off of the bench already. When you look at what the Lakers have had to overcome in terms of injury, with Anthony Davis out tonight, LeBron James will be tasked with having to carry the offensive scoring load. As I say that, he attacks the basket, can't get the layup to fall. Offensive rebound by Drummond. tries to get it to James. It goes off of his right knee, so that's a turnover. Chris Paul takes it, trying to find Torian Craig. Craig able to get the dump off to DeAndre Ayton, and Ayton finishes at the basket. Ayton right now just got his first basket, but I mentioned his prowess in the paint so far here in the series. He's definitely going to settle in soon. Suns up by 12 as Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, Cameron Johnson, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton on the floor for the Suns. For the Lakers, Alex Caruso, Dennis Schroeder, LeBron James, Andre Drummond, and Kyle Kuzma on the floor for the Lakers. Cameron Payne with the left-hand floater, working his way to the left baseline. James wasn't able to cut him off, and he knocks it down. So Suns up 14. Frank Vogel has to call a timeout to stop the momentum. 10:37 left to play. Suns up 14. This is the Game of the Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as the Suns lead the Lakers by 14, 40-26 to start this second quarter. Out of that timeout, the Lakers have another turnover. Miscommunication between Alex Caruso and LeBron James. The heat is on right now. There's 4 turnovers for the Lakers. The Suns looking to capitalize as Chris Paul attacks Dennis Schroeder. Can't get the floater to fall. Kyle Kuzma with the rebound looking to push the pace. Getting downhill, takes contact. He'll be going to the free throw line for 2. That's something that the Lakers need to see more consistently, especially understanding what's at stake here. Uh, Obviously, all attention will be on LeBron James because of his ability to score and set up others. That's when the other players like Kuzma have to be ready to knock shots down. Here in this series, in 22 minutes, only averaging 5.3 points per game. And for Kuzma, a player who definitely has had a lot of potential and showcased a lot of potential, especially in his early years here with the Lakers. Now settling in as a role player, bench player on this Laker team, he has to be someone that is consistent. He's very streaky in terms of how he scores. His confidence never wavers, but I think he has to find ways to impact the game in other ways if he's not shooting well. Uh, he goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line. It's a 13-point game. Cameron Payne hounded by Dennis Schroeder. Doesn't affect Payne at all. He finds Craig on a jump shot. Craig unable to get the jumper to fall. Kuzma had the rebound, tried to get out on a fast break, but couldn't quite handle the basketball, and DeAndre Ayton is able to pick it up. 5 seconds left. Cameron Johnson tries to get a floater. Isn't able to get it. Marcus Gasol is there for the rebound. He gets to LeBron James. James works his way in the post. Skip pass over to Caruso in the right corner. 3-point shot, no good. Again, the Lakers shooting just 29% from 3 in this series. They're getting open shots. They haven't been able to knock it down. Suns, on the other hand, utilizing those misses to get early offense for players like DeAndre Ayton. Ayton working in the pick and roll with Chris Paul. Chris Paul dimes him perfectly. Ayton is fouled. He'll be going to the free throw line for 2. Ayton in this breakout season for him, especially when you think about him being so young. He's only 22 years old. On the season, averaging 14 points, 10 and a half rebounds, shooting 63%. Well, here in the playoffs against this Laker team in 4 games, shooting 81%, averaging 20 points per game. The rebounding, 13 and a half points per game. So if you're able to raise your standard of play in the playoffs, you're showing that you're definitely a high caliber player. Most premier players look to raise their level of play when it matters the most. And I think having Chris Paul on this team to establish a confidence, establish a standard of play, an efficient style of play, he's definitely an extension of head coach Monty Williams, who will probably be coach of the year this year for the NBA. LeBron James tried to score in the post. It's blocked by DeAndre Ayton. He thought he was fouled. Suns able to get it to Chris Paul at the top of the key. He kicks it out to Craig. Craig thought about a 3 instead, attacks Marcus Gasol. Still can't finish. Offensive rebound by Ayton. and Ayton is fouled by Gasol. So the uh, the Suns have done a great job of getting Marc Gasol in foul trouble. Gasol for the Lakers is someone who is a facilitator out of the post as a big man. He works at the top of the key as well. Is a great passer, and at times can knock down a three-point shot at this stage in his career. But if he's getting in foul trouble, now he'll have to go to the bench. The Lakers will have to go to different lineups, especially their front line being thin without Anthony Davis. They'll definitely be compromised. 8:31 to play left here in the first half. Uh, the Lakers have to bring Andre Drummond back in as Marc Gasol has to go to the bench. Aiden missed the first free throw on the season. Aiden, a pretty competent free throw shooter, shooting 79%, 77%, pardon me, from the free throw line. In this series, though, shooting just 38%, but he doesn't get there a lot in the series, only taking two free throws a game. He goes 1 of 2 at the line. Lakers trail by 16, 43 to 27. Then the shooter with the floater, trying to get a shot to fall. LeBron James is there for the offensive rebound, couldn't quite corral it. Craig comes down with the rebound. Chris Paul in and out dribble at the top of the key, mid-range jumper, off, rebounded by James, but there's a foul call. So the frustration is mounting for LeBron. Head coach Frank Vogel can't agree with the call as we look at this missed floater for Schroeder. Crossover dribble, starting left, works his way back right and just rolls off the rim. Schroeder here tonight just doesn't have it going whatsoever. Jay Crowder, straightaway three at the top of the key, no good. Rebounded by Schroeder. Schroeder gets it to James. James looking for Schroeder, works it over to Wes Matthews. Left corner three, no good. Can Drummond get the rebound? He cannot. Chris Paul gets it, looking to survey. Finds Crowder, right corner three, no good. Rebounded by, they say it's deflected out. Okay. Initially, KCP had rights to that rebound, but coming in on the offensive glass was Mikal Bridges, who was able to deflect it just a bit prior to it going off of KCP. So 12 on the shot clock. Big shot. I'm not quite sure if that was Jay Crowder or that's Devin Booker, but it's a two-pointer, and it's an 18-point lead now. 45 to 27 here in this game so far. Lakers 3 of 12 from 3 compared to the Suns, who are 5 of 11. We got an offensive foul against Wes Matthews. So turnover by the Lakers. Suns up 18, 7:30 left here in this first half. The Suns crowd is into it all the way. When we look at what's going on right now, without Anthony Davis, the Lakers are 19 and 17. Without LeBron James, the Lakers are 12 and 15. We get another three-point shot for the Suns, this time by Jay Crowder. 48 to 27, 7:22 to play here in the first half. Lakers down by 21. Stay tuned for more. This is the Game of the Day by Zay, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Quick correction. I said that previous three with Jay Crowder, that was Chris Paul. Chris Paul knocked in that three from the top of the key, a 25-footer to give the Suns a 48 to 27 lead. So Lakers down by 21. They'll definitely have to go back to the drawing board. They bring in Ben McLemore for his first appearance. James on the left wing guarded by DeAndre Ayton. He's surveying the floor. 5 on the shot clock. James has to make a play. He goes off the glass for a layup, can't get it to fall. It doesn't hit the rim, and he tries to throw it off of Ayton. He tries to throw it off of Ayton to save possession, but they say James was out of bounds. Great defense there by Ayton as LeBron came downhill on the attack. Ayton was able to remain solid. He didn't fall for any up fakes. He stayed. Pardon me. He stayed vertical without fouling, and he was able to get the stop. Chris Paul comes down, attacks Marquise Morris one-on-one, able to get another finish. Suns up by 23. They run a 24-1 run over the last 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Morris able to attack and draw a foul. If you look at Chris Paul, took contact from Morris on that left shoulder, didn't allow him to stop the aggressiveness. And that's the type of gamesmanship you see from Chris Paul. Very, very crafty. Although he's older, 36 years old, he's been in the game since 2005. Chris Paul is still one of the smartest players to ever play this game. And even with a bum shoulder, he's still finding ways to impact the game based off IQ, which a lot of players, especially in older age when they lose athleticism, don't know how to impact the game. So Morris misses the first free throw. Lakers still down by 23. A 24-1 run right now has completely opened up this game. Morris makes the second free throw. So it's a 22-point game, 6:25 left here in the first half. Just to give you a scoring update, in Game 5 of the Denver Nuggets and Portland Trailblazers series, the Nuggets are up 100-98 with 8:28 to play in the fourth. 5 on the shot clock. Chris Paul at the top of the key, guarded by Ben McLemore. Mid-range jumper for Chris Paul is good. Big mid-range jumper for Chris Paul. He's starting to get it going offensively. The Suns smell blood and they're attacking at every turn. The Lakers have 2 points in the last 6 minutes and 38 seconds. Ben McLemore on the floor for shooting. Tries to go off the dribble, has it deflected by Jay Crowder, turns it to a turnover. Devin Booker, cut off by Horton Tucker. Skip pass over to Chris Paul. Mikal Bridges thought about a three. Instead drives baseline, kicks it to Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder steps into a three. He makes the three. So now the Suns are up by 27, 55-28. 5 minutes. We approach 5 minutes left in this first half. The Lakers are reeling. They can't find any type of offense. Wes Matthews, hounded by Jay Crowder and Chris Paul. Back out to James. 4 on the shot clock, guarded by Devin Booker. Skip pass over to Ben McLemore. 1 second on the clock. Pulls up for the jumper, misses it off the back rim. Marquise Morris is there, has a strip by Chris Paul. Couldn't quite get the possession to Devin Booker. They say it went off of Morris. I thought it went off of Devin Booker. They say it went off of Morris. Possession goes back to the Suns. 4:57 to play. Suns up by 27, 55-28. The Lakers do not have Anthony Davis tonight. And if they lose this game, they'll go down 2-3 with the Suns having the opportunity to close out the defending champions on the road in LA. Booker, top of the key, embraces the trap from Morris and Tucker. Can't get the straightaway 3-4, but we got a foul against Craig, as it's a loose ball foul committed against Ben McLemore trying to get that rebound. We look at the second quarter. Here in the second quarter, the Lakers have only scored 2 points. The Suns have scored 21. The Lakers are 0 of 8 with 7 turnovers. The Suns are 8 of 16 from the floor with no turnovers. That's really the mark of the game right now. And the scary part is the Lakers have had LeBron James on the floor for the majority of this quarter, yet they're still turning over the ball. They're still not getting quality shots. And a lot of that just has to do with the hounding defense. Tucker, attacking, he's fouled, tries to get a floater up. Horton Tucker plays 5 minutes. He really came of age last year in the bubble. Taylor Horton Tucker came of age last year in the bubble. The Lakers saw some potential. He's played spot minutes this season. Sometimes he's in the rotation, sometimes he's not. He's always ready, regardless of when they call his number. In this season, he's played 65 games. He plays 20 minutes a game. In the season, averaging 9 points. Here in the playoffs, though, only has played 2 games, 6.5 minutes per game. But his effort right now is starting to get things going. He goes 1 of 2 at the free throw line, gets the rebound, and is fouled, gets the and-one opportunity. So he'll have an opportunity to get 4 points on this one possession. He misses He misses the free throw, but is fouled by Craig, completes the layup, now looking to get the and one opportunity for the Lakers, who just are desperate for any scoring right now. So Tucker gets 4 points on that possession for the Lakers. Lakers still down 23 as we approach 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Devin Booker had an outstanding first quarter with 18 points to really set the tone for this Suns team. They went into the second up by 8. Now they're up by 23, so they've outscored the Lakers by 15. Jay Crowder, 3 from the left corner. He misses it, rebounded by LeBron James. Could this be an opportunity for the Lakers to make a run? James over to Ben McLemore. 3-point shot, no good. Open shot for Ben McLemore. He just wasn't able to knock it down. Rebounded by Craig. Chris Paul finds Devin Booker on the baseline. Devin Booker kicks it out to Mikal Bridges, and he knocks it down. Good ball movement there by the Suns, all set up by Chris Paul, finding Devin Booker on a magnificent cut on the baseline. Then Devin Booker found Bridges in that right corner. Horton Tucker can't get the floater to fall, rebounded by Devin Booker. What a cut from Craig as Jay Crowder finds Torrey Craig on the cut. Two-hand slam for Craig, and I think the defensive breakdown for the Lakers tells it all. They don't have the same intensity. Their spirit is broken right now. We look at that great pass from Jay Crowder to find Craig. No defensive resistance here from the Lakers. Now they're down by 28, 60-32. Stay tuned for more as we hit the final moments of this first half. Welcome back as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Suns have completely opened this game up 60-32. They've been knocking down threes. They've been forcing turnovers. The Lakers, on the other hand, have not been able to score whatsoever. The shooting is so putrid right now. You would think this is still the first quarter for the Lakers. They've only made 11 field goals, and the first half is about to be over. They're 11 of 33 from the floor. They're 3 of 13 from 3. They're 7 of 10 at the free throw line. That's the only real area that they've excelled at. The rebound differential is only 4, as the Suns have out-rebounded the Lakers 20-16. But the Suns shooting 54% from 3, 23 of 43. They're 8 of 16 from 3. And when you look at the turnovers, the Lakers have 7 turnovers. The Suns have 15 points off of those Lakers turnovers. The Suns, on the other hand, have no turnovers. The Suns have not turned over the ball yet, and we are approaching 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Great defense there by Andre Drummond as he deflects the dribble from Chris Paul. Chris Paul trying to split KCP and Drummond. Drummond actually on his backside, still able to deflect that dribble out. So good effort there by Drummond. Devin Booker guarded by Wes Matthews. 5 on the shot clock. Can Devin get a shot off? He kicks it to Chris Paul. Chris Paul from 3, right corner. He shoots an air ball, rebounded by KCP. Alex Caruso trying to survey. Finds Wes Matthews for 3. Wes Matthews responds with his own air ball. So any type of momentum that the Lakers can get defensively is null and void because they're not able to come back and score in their own right. One of the other areas that the Suns have dominated is fast break points. They've been able to get 24 points in the paint compared to 14 for the Lakers. 24 points in the paint compared to 14 for the Lakers. Devin Booker gets a quick basket for the Suns already with 22 points. He slowed down from 18 in the first, but the Suns as a team have opened up so much. Dennis Schroeder still struggling from 3. He misses another bad 3, rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. As Chris Paul trying to find Mikal Bridges on a back cut, it's stolen by Andre Drummond. That's the Suns' first turnover of the game with 1:35 to play here in the second quarter. Alex Caruso comes back and scores. Here in this second quarter, the Suns have outscored the Lakers 28-10. The Lakers are 2 of 14 in the quarter. What a find from from Devin Booker at the top of the key. He finds Mikal Bridges cutting from the right side. He cuts baseline, able to get right inside and finish a layup. So back to a 28-point lead, 64-36. We approach a minute to play. Andre Drummond trying to spin off of Jay Crowder, wasn't able to get the finish. Chris Paul surveying, takes a screen from Ayton, attacks the basket, gets it back to Ayton, ain't able to catch the basketball and finish over KCP and then the shooter. No resistance for the Lakers right now. 45 seconds to play, down 30 in a pivotal game 5 on the road. The defending champions are on the ropes. This young, hungry Suns team smells blood. Shooter, pull-up jumper. Misses it short. Offensive rebound attempt by Drummond is not there. Rebounded by Devin Booker, already with 22 points. He set the tone earlier in that first quarter with 18 points. Since then, the Suns have been off and run. So it's a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Booker, top of the key, trying to attack Wes Matthews, is fouled. He's fouled by Wes Matthews. 6.8 left on the game clock here in the first half. So that was the foul to give. 6 seconds left. Booker attacking, kicks to Bridges. Bridges trying to get the shot off at the buzzer. It rims out. From that right corner, Bridges got the shot off over Caruso. The shot was halfway down and rimmed out. But that just goes to show you how dominant the Suns have been here in this first half. 66-36, a magnificent game all the way around. They completely dominated. When you look at what has happened in this second quarter, the Lakers only scoring 12 points. They scored 10 points. They only scored 10 points, and the Suns just blew it open, 32-10. A magnificent performance from Devin Booker so far. An efficient performance as a team shooting 55%, 8 of 18 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. The Lakers shooting 31%, 12 of 39 from the floor, 3 of 15 from 3, and the turnovers have just been adding up with 7 already in the first half. The Suns have 15 points off of those 7 turnovers, and the Lakers have to go back to the drawing board. If they want to try to build any momentum going into Game 6 at home, they have to try to make a run here in the second half. We'll be back with more as this is a Game of Day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. As we start this second half, Mikal Bridges got a 3 from the left wing, wasn't able to knock it down. Lakers down 30. That's not an exaggeration. The Lakers are down 30, 66-36 here in this swing game 5. They're playing without Anthony Davis, which definitely affects rotation, their ability to be dynamic in the paint, the defensive presence in the post, in the post and in the paint overall. But more than anything, though, I think that this is just an effort. Performance. Obviously, with no AD, you definitely will have to rebrand yourself in how you perform. But the Suns are just taking it to the Lakers in all facets. They've been able to really, really dominate and get out and run, force turnovers. They've knocked down the 3 at an outrageous clip at 8 of 19. And the recent 3s that they missed prior to the end of the half really came at the end of the shot clock. For the most part, though, they got everything that they wanted, and the Lakers just have not responded. That second quarter saw the Suns outscore the Lakers 32-10. 32-10. And when you look at what Devin Booker did in that first quarter, 18 of the Suns' 34 points. The Suns went into the second quarter up by 8, 34-26. And they just completely have just blitzed the Lakers. As I say that, Jay Crowder knocked in the straightaway 3. He knocked in a number of 3s. The Suns 9 of 21 from 3. The Lakers trying to pick it up. LeBron James knocking in a three from the left wing, now down 29. If you're the Lakers, you just want to make this respectable. Get this to within 15 if you can. Just try to make this score as cosmetic as possible. Try to build some momentum going into the next game because if you um, if you get blitzed to this level, to this degree, and uh, have an opportunity to go home. Well, if you're the Suns, go on the road and finish off the defending champions in this fashion, what will it do for your confidence? This is a team that's second in the West, but I don't think many people really believe in this group in terms of making a long run or a deep run to the deep run in the playoffs. They're so young. Chris Paul isn't as dynamic as he once was, despite having the exceptional IQ that he's had. But if this team can defeat the defending champions and then have a potential second round matchup with Portland or Denver, both Portland and Denver are going into overtime tied at 121. So that series could potentially go seven. Looking at that potential matchup from both perspectives, the Suns probably feel like they can beat both of those teams and make a run at the Western Conference Finals where anything can happen. You still have to go through a Utah or Clippers, depending on how they finish up their first round matchups. You have the Clippers tied at 2-2 with Dallas. You have the uh, you have the Jazz up 3-1 on Memphis. So both of those teams will play each other in the second round. If the Clippers defeat Dallas, you still have Luka Doncic with uh, the best out of three to win that series. You never know what could happen in that regard if Luka gets going as he did in the the first three games really. If he gets going like he did in the first three games, Dallas definitely has a chance to beat the Clippers. But if you look at that particular matchup, you never know what could happen, and the Suns could make a magical run. Suns up 32, three-pointer miss by Jay Crowder. LeBron James gets the pass to Dennis Schroeder, who's blocked at the rim by DeAndre Ayton. So 8:25 to play. Devin Booker guarded by Wes Matthews. Pull-up jumper, fade away off the right baseline. What a shot by Devin Booker. I mean, his ability to just get any shot he wants, his ability to handle the basketball and get to any point on the floor, you cannot stop him. Timeout Frank Vogel. He has to figure out how to just get something out of this game. Can he salvage it? Devin Booker's in a different zone right now. 76-42. Suns lead the Lakers. This is the Game of the Day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back as the Lakers get possession, but they turn it over right out of the timeout. You got Chris Paul with the basketball, up by 34, 8 on the shot clock. Mismatch with Marc Gasol. Attacks LeBron James at the rim. Good contest for LeBron. Rebounded by Schroeder. Back to LeBron. LeBron downhill. Takes contact. Misses the layup. Tough miss there. LeBron can't believe it. Aiden had the rebound, but it goes off with one hand. I mean, when you look at LeBron James in year 18, a player who's been dynamic on all levels, athletically, in terms of IQ, uh, prolific scoring, magnificent passer. This is a guy who has 4 championships. He's been to 10 finals. You think about LeBron as unstoppable. No one really thought he could be dethroned by a Phoenix Suns team, especially with the likes of Anthony Davis. But Father Time is undefeated. You have uh, two two really big injuries in the last 3 years. One with the groin that sidelined LeBron for long periods of time in 2019. He had a relatively healthy season last year, which contributed to why the Lakers were able to sustain and finish out the season as NBA champions in 2020. This year, year 18, at 36 years old, uh, to be able to push the level of attrition that he has put forth in terms of just performing at a high level, take care of his body, and then to have a severely sprained ankle to the level that he did. Uh, there's reports that he has returned earlier than expected. He's still not 100%, and he's trying to lead this team through all the different injuries and circumstances that they've had. And again, Chris Paul hurt his shoulder once again, and he's laboring. He's in big pain right now. This is a bad situation for the Suns, as Chris Paul can barely get to the bench right now. This is bad. This is really bad. LeBron missed the three, and we got to look at the scrum to see how this happened. We got to look at the replay. But Chris Paul can barely stand right now. His shoulder must be throbbing in pain. The fans, despite being up 33 right now, their fate rests on the shoulders of Chris Paul. So LeBron misses the three. Paul is trying to box out, and as he boxes out, Wesley Matthews is coming behind him to try to box out in his own right. I don't look at it as anything I don't look at it as anything dirty. It was just a natural um, posturing to get the rebound. It wasn't anything negative. It's just uh, as Wes lifts his arm to get ready to box out in his own right to get the rebound, CP took the hit, and his shoulders, he could bear. It's a stinger. He's been dealing with this shoulder issue for a long period of time here in this series, and he's going in and out. They're gonna go to timeout. Chris Paul is actually standing now. He's trying to get some um, rotation in that shoulder. I think it was more so just the stinger and the initial jolt of pain that worried everyone. But I think just based off how Chris is moving, he'll continue to play. But again, this is probably going to be an issue that lingers going forward throughout the playoffs, because when you look at if you see the play itself, it's a basic play. It's not anything dirty by Wesley Matthews. Um, Obviously, Chris Paul didn't see him coming for the box out, in the fashion that he boxed him out, but it wasn't dirty. It was just him trying to establish position for the box out. And Chris took the hit and went down in severe pain. So we'll be back. This is a timeout on the floor. This is a game of day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. The Lakers are out of it. The Suns look to take a 3-2 lead with an opportunity to close out the Lakers in Game 6. Welcome back, because this is a game of day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. And we look at this first free throw from Chris Paul. He's in pain. You can tell in his eyes the pain that he's in right now. Uh, the Lakers are in a penalty, so um, on that foul, Chris is shooting the free throws. But if he didn't shoot the free throws, he would be out for the game. He made both, and the Suns will foul, get Chris out the game. He'll get Chris out the game. He's looking as if he's about to take off his jersey. He's getting a rousing ovation from the fans right now, but you could tell for him just being out of the game in any sense, he definitely doesn't want that. Going back to Game 4, there was reports that Monty Williams thought about sitting him for that game, and at the last moment, Chris told him there's no way you could sit him out. You could take him out the game. He had to figure out how to get some rotation in that shoulder and show Monty that he could be capable of playing at a high level for this Suns team. And he figured out how to finish out the game. I mentioned the 18 points he had to lead the Suns in Game 4 and finish out that game in LA. Now, this changes the dynamic of the series if Chris has to be out for a Game 6. And again, he's been dealing with this shoulder issue the entire series going back to Game 1. So Again, although the Suns are going to win this game, if Chris is out for a potential game 6, you don't know what will happen to this young team, especially without their leader on the floor. Booker trying to sustain the game right now. Suns up by 30, 32. Mikal Bridges mid-range jumper, he misses. LeBron James with the rebound. 5:25 left here in the third. LeBron James trying to go behind the back, deflected by Devin Booker and Bridges. Possession will stay with the Lakers, but if you're Monty Williams dealing with this and seeing this, you're going to have to right the ship right now. Obviously, a team's mental is definitely shaken when you see their floor general and Chris throbbing in pain in that fashion and then having to leave the game. It's totally unfortunate. Devin Booker attacking. We got an offensive foul as Wes Matthews steps in, um, takes the charge. So if you're the Lakers, you're gonna lose this game. You're down 30. But what you can do is try to uh, you can try to just build momentum. You can build momentum and try to establish some principles that you can carry going into game 6. You're gonna be down 3-2, but you know that you're the defending champion, so you have the championship pedigree. Try to use that to your advantage, and know that it's gonna be a tough out. No team is gonna be easy to get you out, especially when you have LeBron James, and hopefully if you're the Lakers, you have Anthony Davis there for the game 6. But um, again, nothing would be easy. The Suns might use this Chris Paul injury as a rallying cry, and that could change the dynamics for them as well mentally. So you never know. You never know what could happen. But injuries are tough. They're tough breaks in the game, especially when you, as a Suns team, you're playing a near perfect. You're playing nearly perfect to perfection. 4:27 left. Lakers possession. Devin Booker just missed a tough jump shot. Kyle Kuzma at the top of the key, guarded by Bridges. Takes the screen from Drummond. Mid-range jumper over DeAndre Ayton, no good. Rebounded by Drummond. He can't get the putback. Rebounded by Bridges. So Cameron Payne, who's done a valiant job stepping in for Chris Paul. Obviously, you can't beat Chris Paul. Chris Paul's the first ballot Hall of Famer, second to none in terms of point guard play. But he's definitely stepped in, provided energy, and he's been aggressive. One thing you'll say about Cameron Payne, he's been very, very aggressive in terms of how he's getting his shot. He's not hesitating in terms of when he takes his shot. He knows what he's here to do, and he's doing it at a high level. Now he'll be asked to run the team for extended periods of time. Still have to be that presence as a scorer and shooter, but also now he has to look to set others up to take pressure off of Devin Booker. Booker takes a trap from Kuzma and Wesley Matthews, finds Mikal Bridges. Matthews a little bit too late on the closeout. Bridges knocks down the three. Schroeder takes a screen from Drummond. At the rim, good foul there by Jay Crowder. Nothing easy on a contest. Make sure Drummond feels it so he doesn't get an easy dunk at the basket. Obviously, you're up 32, but again, any momentum shifts can change the dynamics of a series. And if you're the Suns, you want to make sure that the Lakers know that they cannot, in any capacity, uh, believe they can beat you. Just an update between Portland and Denver. We're going to a second overtime as Damian Lillard has knocked in 2 3-pointers at the buzzer to keep the game alive for the Blazers. Going back to regulation, he tied the game at 121 with a three at the buzzer. And then the the Nuggets had an opportunity to go up 4 at the free throw line, 136 to 132. A missed free throw lended itself to Damian Lillard hitting a fadeaway 3 at the buzzer to put the Blazers in position to go to a second overtime on the road in that game 5. So that swing game is important to that series as well. Wes Matthews for 3, left corner, no good. Suns up 30, 2:30 left, 2:30 left here in the third quarter. Cameron Payne taking contact, working his way right. He's a left-handed player, still able to take that contact and finish strong over Andre Drummond. Wes Matthews thought about a 3, goes to Schroeder. Schroeder takes the 3. He misses it. Schroeder tonight has just been disgusting from the floor. And this is a player who was a huge off-season acquisition for the Lakers. He definitely played well this year, but he's dealt with COVID on a number of occasions. COVID tracing. Then he actually caught COVID towards the end of the season, so he missed many games this year dealing with COVID. He actually had ankle injuries as well. Here tonight, 0 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3. He has 0 points. His plus minus right now is negative 17. He has 1 assist and only 4 rebounds. Dennis Schroeder having a tough night tonight. 87-58, Suns lead, 151 left here in the third quarter. This is the Game of Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rose. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. As the Lakers are down by 29, LeBron James with back-to-back threes, getting it to 26. Again, any type of momentum shifts going into Game 6 would be beneficial for the Lakers. LeBron tonight, 8 of 18, 5 rebounds, 22 points. You're definitely going to lose this game. There's no question about it. But when you're down by a lot, you want to try to make the team that's up by a lot think about it. I could go back to a game in 2001 between the Philadelphia 76ers and Milwaukee Bucks. Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bucks were destroying the Sixers in Game 6. They were at home. They had the crowd. They were up by 33. Ray Allen was going crazy. But Larry Brown left Allen Iverson in the game, especially in the fourth quarter, and Allen turned the game around single-handedly. He scored 26 points in the fourth quarter, cut the deficit for the Sixers down to 10. And then George Karl, head coach for the Bucks at the time, called multiple timeouts trying to stop momentum. He could not. Ultimately, the Bucks won the game. They won by 10. But to see the fear that Allen sparked in the Bucks at that time only helped the Sixers advance in Game 7, in which he finished the game. He finished that Game 6 with 46 points. He went into Game 7 and had a magnificent 44 points. But that alone, that Game 6 fourth quarter alone, shifted the dynamics of that series specifically, even though the Sixers lost. So if I'm the Suns, I don't want to give the Lakers any life. Even though they're down 26 right now, 12 more minutes to play. What can happen mentally to any team is important. So you have to make sure that you set a tone and make sure that you continue to try to kill the Lakers as best you can. As I say that, Cameron Johnson knocks in a huge three-pointer to shift the game back to the Suns in terms of momentum. Two quick three-pointers got it down to 26. Then Johnson's 3 got it down to 29. We got an offensive foul against the Lakers. So a turnover with 17 seconds left in the third. The Suns have an opportunity to get it back up 30. So Devin Booker will have this final possession for the Suns again. The Suns played a damn near perfect game so far, but what looms large is the status of Chris Paul and that right shoulder. Going back to the middle portions of the third quarter, LeBron James missed the 3 on a box out. Wesley Matthews was trying to establish himself for the rebound while Chris was boxing out. He took a shot to the shoulder. Again, if you look at the replay, I don't think it's dirty. Chris obviously didn't see it coming. He's going to believe it's dirty, but that's just really him being a competitor and understanding that that time is precious and he needs to be on the floor as much as he can here at the latter part of his career. But nevertheless, though, he went down throbbing in pain, very similar to that game one where he at first initially got the shoulder stinger, and he's been dealing with that all series. But the pain was so bad, Chris could barely stand. They had to call a timeout. He stayed in the game to shoot the free throws so he could still be eligible to come back in the game. If he didn't shoot the free throws, he'd be out for the rest of the game. He shot the free throws, but you could see in his eyes, he looked like he wanted to cry. He took the free throws, he made the free throws. The Suns immediately fouled, brought in Cameron Payne, and Chris Paul has yet to come back in. So if I'm a Suns fan, I'm worried. Although we're gonna win this game, you have to worry about this young team going on the road for an elimination potential uh, game six, and not having your floor general on the floor could change the trajectory of this series. We'll see. But again, right now, all the Suns can do is try to finish out this game five, in which they thoroughly dominated in all facets. This is a Game of Day by Isaiah presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Suns lead the Lakers 92-63. Stay tuned. Welcome back as the Lakers trying to um, build some momentum here in the fourth. They're down by 31. The Lakers finally play Montrezl Harrell. Harrell getting his first actions here tonight. Harrell was a big offseason acquisition for the Lakers coming from the crosstown. I wouldn't say rivals because the Clippers have yet to really establish anything winning wise in their franchise history. But in terms of recent history, the Clippers definitely were trying to establish a rivalry with the Lakers, and he played a big part in that. Uh, and Harrell coming over to the Lakers, especially on the heels of them winning a championship in the bubble. The Clippers completely collapsing last year. Harrell to come over to the Lakers was a big, big move in the offseason last year. This season, he started out really, really strong for them. Was able to score off the bench, be a consistent energy guy, and really just continue to play up to that six-man of the year reputation that he established last year. But in recent weeks, especially coming down the stretch of the season, he definitely has played his way out of the rotation for some reason. Obviously, the Lakers have multiple big men now, and Andre Drummond and Marc Gasol. But I think just in terms of matchups and how the Lakers have been playing, Frank Vogel has chosen not to play Harrell. And don't get me wrong, Harrell isn't the the biggest at, in his size. He's really 6'7", 6'8". But just in terms of the energy and how he scores, some of these situations that the Lakers have been in, they definitely have needed energy. And for some reason, Frank Vogel has not played Montrezl Harrell as of late. He's playing now though. He got in. Let's see what he's able to provide here in this fourth quarter. Kyle Kuzma knocks in a three, so the Lakers trail by 27 now. Cameron Johnson in the paint, great pass and setup from Frank Kaminsky as Johnson was able to cut back door on the baseline. Kaminsky at the top of the key, finding a way to get it to Johnson right in time, and he's able to finish. For the Suns, it's good to see Chris Paul on the bench, still motivating his teammates. He's in his warm up. He's not. He probably won't come back into this game. He pardon me, he doesn't really need to, considering the fact that the Lakers are down by 29. But we'll have to see what his treatment will be going forward and what his status will be for Game 6 here in this series. Harrell, hook shot, sweeping across the lane, unable to get it to fall. Craig gets the rebound. He gets it to Cameron Payne. Payne working a pick and roll with Frank Kaminsky. Payne took the jump shot, wasn't able to get it to fall, rebounded by Ben McLemore. And we got an offensive foul against Kuzma as Frank Kaminsky takes the contact, took the charge. And for the Suns, we're looking at Chris Paul. He's getting a heating pad, special heating pad, put on his right shoulder right now. So even with 9:17 to play, he's still getting that treatment necessary to try to expedite any recovery that he can. Obviously, it's going to be from start to finish tonight. As soon as they get on a plane to LA, he's going to be getting treatment. Just to give you an update about what's going on in a game 5 between the Portland Trail Blazers and Denver Nuggets. 147 to 140 in the second overtime. Denver will close it out. And it's final now, 147 to 140. But I will say this, that game did not go in vain. Damian Lillard forced overtime multiple times with tough three-point shots as Denver looked to have closed out the game. Damian Lillard hit a three at the buzzer at the end of regulation to tie the game, and then in the first overtime, the Nuggets had an opportunity to go up four, making a free throw that would have iced the game. They missed it. Damian Lillard came down, step back three at the top of the key. He was able to knock it down and send it to a second overtime. The Nuggets at home, though, able to close out game 5, winning by 7, 147 to 140. So they'll have an opportunity to close out that series in game 6. Langston Galloway into the game for the Suns. Frank Kaminsky attacking the paint. Montrezl Harrell couldn't stop that. 4.3 on the shot clock as well, so that's a tough foul. So that'll be an and one opportunity. Suns up 100 to 69. Great up fake on Horton Tucker. And as that wasn't even Montrezl Harrell, that was Ben McLemore. McLemore tried to get to the spot quickly, and he wasn't able to get there. So Kaminsky makes the free throw, so it's 101 to 69 as we approach 8 minutes to play. Taylor Horton Tucker finds Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma shooting a three, he misses it, and we got a tough foul by Ben McLemore to stop Cameron Johnson from getting the easy layup. And right now, you want to be careful if you're the Suns, knowing the circumstances. You're up by 32, 8 minutes to play. This game is all but done. You want to make sure that you get out of here with most of your players healthy. Obviously, Chris Paul being compromised a bit. We don't know the extent or how bad this shoulder injury will continue to plague him for the rest of the series. But if you're thinking about your rotation players, Craig, Cameron Johnson, Campaign, Cameron Payne. These are players that you want to make sure are healthy and that can contribute going forward to close out this series and potentially for the rest of the playoffs. 8:06 to play. Both free throws made, and Monty Williams will be emptying out his bench, so he's taking Cameron Johnson out right in time. Like I said, rotation players are very, very important. And if you have an opportunity to get rest for these guys, especially knowing the way that this game is going, knowing that it's over, you want to get them out as early as possible so that they can get rest and you know that your main rotation guys are healthy for the stretch run. Kyle Kuzma trying to finish over Craig. He's unable to get it to fall. Kaminsky at the top of the key finds Javon Carter. Carter, a very, very good defensive player in this league, takes a three. He misses it. Montrezl Harrell catches an alley from Taylor Horn Tucker. He makes it. Tough finish there for Montrezl Harrell. So he'll take the contact and look to complete an and one with 7:34 to play. This was a dangerous pass considering the angle with which Montrezl Harrell had to catch it. He took the contact from behind, able to finish the layup. He'll be trying to get an and one here. Free throw is no good, rebounded by Kaminsky. Langston Galloway takes a three from the right corner. He misses it. Rebounded by the Lakers, Ben McLemore. Thought about pulling up a three. Taylor Horton Tucker trying to attack. pulls up for the fadeaway jumper. He misses it short, and Craig comes down with the rebound. Tough rebound uh, for Craig. We get another three opportunity and misses in the right corner. And we're under 7 to play. Taylor Horn Tucker attacking. He can't finish the layup. Montrezl Harrell on the glass fighting for that offensive rebound. That's the type of energy plays that the Lakers need. This game is far from over. I mean, this game is over. This game is all but over. But if you're Montrezl Harrell, in any limited minutes that you play, you want to show head coach Frank Vogel that your energy is still there. Despite the score, despite playing in limited minutes, when you've played, you still want to show that you can be a key contributor. Because again, with this injury to Chris Paul, you never know what could happen for game 6. Whatever you display here in game 5 in this fourth quarter, Vogel might use that as a means to say, well, I might want to give him more minutes, and how could I use him in this matchup, especially with our backs against the wall. The Lakers will need that energy and that toughness to try to pull out this game 6 and potentially the series, knowing that they don't have home court advantage. Time out on the floor. We'll be back with more. This is a Game of Day by Zay presented to you by the Isaac Isaiah YouTube page. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we have 6:51 to play here in this blowout. The Phoenix Suns lead by 30, 103 to 73. Montrezl Harrell just made both free throws. Suns trying to finish out this game. And they get another score. Big basket set up for Etuan Moore. Etuan Moore spent uh, some of his time in his career with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now with the Suns used in a backup role, looking to set up Craig. He misses a three, falls off the back rim. Taylor Horton Tucker misses the mid range, and we see LeBron James go to the locker room. Not quite sure why he's going to the locker room, but I'm sure we'll get news on that. Could be nothing though. He left the game healthy, as healthy as he would be at this point in the season. Not any real issues there. We approach 5 minutes to play. Montrezl Harrell looking to get a fadeaway over Dario Saric. Langston Galloway sets up Saric. Great pass inside. Saric able to finish. So just to think about what's in store for game 6. We'll give you the breakdown there. Game 6 will be played. We'll get that to you right now. So game 6 is going to be played on Thursday. Game 6 being a deciding game for the Suns. It could be an elimination game for the defending champion Lakers. And knowing what we know now in terms of the Chris Paul injury, how will the Suns adjust knowing that they thoroughly outplayed the Lakers in the series? Outside of game 2 and 3, if you look at the totality of all games played, I think it would be fair to say that the Suns have outplayed this Laker team. With the injury concerns with Anthony Davis on the Lakers side, you need to, if I'm Frank Vogel, they have to be ready or have a contingency plan in place in case he can't play for Game 6. How can they generate some energy. The shots that they missed tonight, uh, when you look at Dennis Schroeder struggling from the floor, he didn't make one shot tonight. He has 0 points. KCP struggled from the floor. Kyle Kuzma struggled from the floor. LeBron had 22, but he struggled from the floor with turnovers. How can this Laker team generate energy and scoring without Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis had a horrible game 1. He bounced back with a strong game 2, and LeBron had a dominant and effective game 3 to complement Anthony Davis in game 3. That game 4, though, dealing with the sprain injury and the sprained knee and then the groin injury, we saw a limited Anthony Davis. So him not playing well in game 4 lended itself to the loss that we saw in game 4. Then he didn't play at all in game 5, and we see the Suns up by 30 with 4 minutes to play, 109-79. So if I'm Frank Vogel, I have to figure out how this team, this particular team, how it's constructed, the personnel, how can they put enough possessions together to generate some energy and efficient offense to be able to compete with this Suns team, who, even though Chris Paul uh, has been on the floor, he has been a great floor general, he hasn't been prolific at all in this series. Yet the Suns have still found ways to score. They still found ways to run their offense, and they still found ways to challenge this Laker team. Now, Chris being there, Chris makes everything easier for Monty Williams. He makes everything easier for Ayton and Devin Booker. But aside from Chris Paul, you still got Cameron Payne. You still got Devin Booker. You got Jay Crowder playing really, really well as a shooter and as a defender. He's providing what he does very, very well on a consistent basis. And outside of just the the uh, the shooting factor, they're very, very confident. This is a Suns team that isn't cowering to the fact that this Laker team is the defending NBA champions. So if I'm Frank Vogel, I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what moves and I can make to try to just reinvigorate my team and permeate some energy and enthusiasm and anything that can go along with winning in this dire situation. But the timeout on the floor, under 3 minutes to play. This is a game of day by Zay presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. Stay tuned for more as the Suns look to finish out this game 5 in dominant fashion. 2:44 to play. We're back as we put the finishing touches on this Phoenix Suns Los Angeles Lakers game. 109-81, the Suns lead the Lakers. They've been dominating this entire game. We look at the box score so far, team stats on both sides. The Lakers are shooting 34%, 12 of 33 from three. They've had 16 turnovers. For the Suns, shooting 46%, and that percentage has dropped drastically over the last couple of minutes because the third unit is in, so to say. Nevertheless, though, they continue to dominate. They've just continued uh, their spectacular play. When you look at what has been done, especially with points off of turnovers, the Lakers tonight, 16 turnovers. The the Suns have gotten 23 points off of those 16 turnovers. The Lakers, 4 turnovers, only 2 points. The Lakers forced 4 turnovers, only 2 points off of those turnovers. Also, points in the paint. The Suns have 44 points in the paint compared to 30 points in the paint for the Lakers. When you look at the efficiency from the three, it's 13 of 41 right now, but that has dropped. That has dropped in the recent minutes with uh, the third unit on the floor. This game has been a blowout all the way around. When you look at the spectacular performance from Devin Booker, Booker finishes the night with 30 points. He had 18 in the first quarter to really set the tone. The Suns were up 8 by the end of the half. The Suns had completely dominated had completely dominated and took it to the Lakers. So with 45 seconds to play to finish out this game 115-85, seeing that and knowing that no Chris Paul for the final minutes of this game. We don't know the severity of the shoulder and if he'll play for game 6, but at least for tonight, the Suns know that they will be going to LA with an opportunity to close out the defending champions. If you're the Lakers, again, no Anthony Davis tonight, so you knew you were going to be up against a tremendous challenge, but you had to step up to this challenge knowing that this is a swing game 5. The Lakers did not. LeBron James came out and tried to set the tone early. He had 5 quick points. He knocked down a 3-point shot. The look in his eyes looked as if he was ready to send a message. The Suns did not wilt in any shape, in any way, shape, or form. They actually added more fuel to the fire and challenged the Lakers to keep up that same energy, which they could not. Tonight, struggles on all fronts for every single player. Dennis Schroeder, 0 points. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, zero points. Kyle Kuzma had 15 points, 6 of 13. LeBron James, 9 of 19. He was 6 of 10 from three, 24 points, only 7 assists though. He could not generate enough points for his team, and the Lakers will fall 115-85. So the Suns take a 3-2 lead with the opportunity to close out this Lakers squad. At the end of the day, the Lakers know they're defending champions. They will not lay down easy. But if you're the Suns, seeing how you thoroughly have dominated in multiple games this series, you should not feel inferior to the Lakers in any way, shape, or form. We'll see how it turns out. But whatever the case may be, a lot of it will be contingent upon whether Chris Paul can be a full go or whether Anthony Davis will be a full go. We'll be here to cover that game 6. I'm Isaiah Rose. This is a Game of Day by Isaiah, presented to you by the Ask Isaiah YouTube page. You just finished listening to the Phoenix Suns thoroughly dominate the Lakers 115-85. Thank you for watching. Peace.